Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Ha! Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to talk about The Game Plan. The Game Plan is a 2007 theatrical release about a quarterback named Joe Kingman who has fatherhood thrust upon him and he must learn on the fly. It is directed by Andy Fickman, cinematography by Greg Gardiner, editing by Michael Jablow, music by Nathan Wang, and it's written by Nichole, Millard, and Kathryn. The film stars Dwayne Johnson as Joe Kingman and Madison Pettis as Peyton Kelly. This was the last film distributed by Buena Vista, which is super exciting. It was filmed majority in the Boston area, and then it was also filmed at 3 different football stadiums. Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Invesco Field at Mile High in Denver, and Sun Devil Stadium in Arizona. The ballet lessons was actually a nod to Lynn Swan, who is a football player, who took ballet while he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The film had a $22 million budget and made $146.6 million in the box office, which is good for what the budget was. It's not great at that time for a box office, but it's pretty, it made more than what it took to make. And then it has a 28% Rotten Tomatoes. The consensus is, despite The Rock's abundant charisma, The Game Plan is just another run-of-the-mill Disney comedy. Ooh. Honestly, this looks very good. I feel like I remember it looking good. I saw this movie in theaters. I really enjoyed this movie. And I think it looks fabulous. I think it looks really good. It's not the most artistic. Again, I hate to do this, but everything right now at this time is paling in comparison to the visuals of Pirates of the Caribbean. But for what this is, it looks very good. It looks high quality. It doesn't look tacky. It doesn't look cheesy. It looks well lit. It looks nice. It's good for what it is. I haven't seen this movie in a while, and I had forgotten about the Elvis connection and how big that was, and then I forgot even how much The Rock sang in this. I remembered that he sang most vividly, that he sang to Peyton with the guitar, but I didn't realize he sang a lot more. He sings quite a bit in this movie, which I think is very fun because I remember this was I know The Rock had kind of sung during his wrestling days because he would always do the smell, but I think this was the first big thing where it was yo, The Rock can sing. It was The Rock can sing. He's good. Oh, okay. And then I vividly remember, as a kid, 2007, I would have been 13-ish, depending on when this came out in 2007. I was I remember kind of swooning that The Rock was singing, Lonesome Tonight to Peyton with the guitar. I remember being it's just so good. It's so sweet. They do an absolutely fabulous job of setting Joe Kingman up as an absolute tool. He's just awful. He's insufferable. The man card comments, your wife stealing your man card, the whole stop being a baby or stop being acting like a girl, all that stuff. Yikes. The closet full of Chanel things to give all of his women suitors, absolutely not. Couldn't deal with that. So insane. They do such a great job of setting him up as being a very selfish and deplorable person when it comes to that kind of stuff. And then they also do a great job of setting up just how ridiculous he is with his wealth and his stuff. It's just honestly hilarious, the wealth side of it, just the fact he's got the control for everything, the trophy cases, the cars, the clothes, the Chanel closet, so nuts, so insane. What I do think they do really well, though, are all the tender moments between him and Peyton, which are the ones that, slowly change him. You know what I mean? Take him from being selfish into realizing he's a dad, and this person he's missed out on so much, and he cares about this person, and all that kind of stuff. They do so well. All the tender moments, when he sings to her, and when she finally breaks through his annoyance to him laughing at her, and all that kind of stuff. It's so sweet. That's where this movie really thrives. And it is funny. It has some genuinely funny moments. The scene where he's all thinks ballet's not gonna be that hard, and then it cuts and he's dying. We stand. That's so real. That's so real. And be and dump in the water and he's sweating. Oh my god, it's so real. It's so good. And then I would say from when Peyton had, like, the truth starts to come out about, like, she's supposed to be at another school, her mom's not alive, like, when all the truth of that starts to come out, from the allergic reaction until the end of this movie, it is so good. It's so good. The stuff in the beginning where he's, like, kind of a brat and, like, he forgets his kid at a bar and, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's like, all right, whatever. It's got funny moments, blah, blah, blah. But from when Peyton has the allergic reaction to the end is when the real, just really good heart of this is so strong, which is, like, it's the end of the movie, but it's so strong. And, like, Peyton overhearing Joe's manager say, like, he can't deal with this right now, it's bad for his career, so then her deciding to go home with her aunt when really she does want to stay with her dad. Oh my god, it's just all so good. There is a parent death toll, comes out that her mom died, and then also I absolutely cried. I was emotional at quite a few moments, especially, like, the moments where, like, he's, like, realizes she doesn't want to stay with him. And in the moment where, like, she's seeing him talk about her on TV and is, like, sad. The moment where she, like, decides to leave because of what the frickin' agent said. And then the I love you, daddy, when she finally calls him dad. I was dead. That's the one that got me to cry. So good. It has problems. It's not the perfect movie. But, like, I think it's entertaining, it's sweet, it's heartwarming, it got me to cry. It's good. I like it. Dwayne Johnson with hair. It's been a minute. So insane. Really showed me just, like, how young and different he was. And then I will say it was really fun to watch this because he has grown as an actor. I would absolutely say he's grown as an actor. Yeah, now I feel like he's doing, like, more just, like, action-y things and stuff like that. But in all those action-y movies, like, for instance, San Andreas. I really like San Andreas. I think it's a good movie. I think it's fun. But he has very tender moments with the woman who's his ex-wife and then his daughter that are so good. And the tender moments he has with Madison in this movie are good, but you can see the difference. I'm wondering if he didn't have kids yet and then he had kids. Because he has children now. And they're relatively young. So I feel like maybe he didn't have kids yet. And then he did have kids. And maybe that helped him in his acting, get those moments to be even more believable or something. But they're not bad in the game plan. They're very sweet, but there's just some kind of much more truth and experience in his tender moments in movies now than there is in the game plan. And I think it's fun to have seen his growth as an actor over the years. Like, that's great. And then this movie would not be as good as it is or sell as much as it does if Madison were not as good as she is in this. She absolutely sells Peyton. She's so cute. She's so funny. I feel like she was witty and was understanding everything that was going on. She does such a stellar job. So good. Favorite part? I love you, daddy. It's so good when they finally are like, she calls him dad. He's like, oh my god, being my daughter. It's just so good. Least favorite part? Probably any part where he's like a cringe, toxic man. The Chanel bags and the man card scene and just like any of those where he's just so, ugh. No. Recommend? Yes. I really enjoy this. I think it's good and fun. Watch again? Yeah, I'd watch again. I mean, I don't know if I'd, like, out of nowhere be like, I want to watch a game plan. But, like, maybe, I don't know. You never know what happens, you know? Now that I've seen it again as an adult since I was young, I feel like I'm a little more inclined. I'm like, yeah, that was good. I'd watch that again for sure. Specific moments. The first thing I've written down is he's rich. The Chanel closet. Peyton selling the press and then being like, it's gonna cost you. Like, dang. So good. When he touches Monique's heart, I actually wanted to die. Like, when he was like, number one on the field and number one in your heart, and he touched her chest, I was like, what are you doing touching hers? Stop that. You just met this woman. The ballet scene, just like them doing the performance is so good because the entire team showed up to support them. It's so sweet. The running her to the hospital during the allergic reaction is so good. It gave me Kramer versus Kramer. You ever seen Kramer versus Kramer? That movie's real sad. Dustin Hoffman, Meryl Streep, divorce. There's a running to the hospital scene. It's not for an allergic reaction, but still there. This is shocking to me that it has a 28%. I feel like it's better than that. You know, I definitely don't always agree with the Rotten Tomatoes score, but I can sometimes understand the Rotten Tomatoes score. I kind of don't understand the Rotten Tomatoes score here. I feel like looking at the movies around this is better than some of the Disney comedies they've put out. It can't touch Enchanted. I feel like he was a kid and he learned through parenting Peyton how to be an adult, if that makes sense, which I feel like is the case for a lot of people, which is not ideal, but like, at least, you know, they came around and they learned each other and, you know, they love each other and it's so sweet. It's the best? No. But is it good? Yeah. Overall, I enjoyed this. I thought it was fun. I liked it. I cried. I laughed. It was touching. Sign me up. That's it. That's everything I have. My final rating is 7 footballs. Or ballet slippers. Whatever. Out of 10, our total movie count is. Our parent death toll is. Our cry count is. If you want to keep up with the movie I'm watching when, follow me on Instagram, where you'll find out what movie I'm watching when. I put out videos every Monday, Friday, and sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon because it is celebration month, and for the entire month of August, you get a benefit from the tier above you. So right now, you could join Patreon for $1 for the month, and you get access to daily trivia questions. 31 trivia questions for $1. Come on. Come join. It's super fun. Come on. Also, buy merch. There's new merch. There are so many Easter eggs on this new piece of merch that if you could guess what every single thing is in reference to or from, I would be so impressed. So buy it and then tell me what you think. Okay? Seriously, go. I'm sure there's also some kind of sale. I haven't decided yet. I'm filming this like early mid-July, so I don't, you know, whatever. That's it. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe. I'm not in charge of real life. You are, so you. And don't be toxic masculinity. Bless my soul, what's wrong with me?